everyone, and welcome to my training about 4 dimensions of energy at work. We all know that we human beings need to live balanced life. And today we'll talk about balance, which consists of all 4 dimensions. Because if one dimension of your energy drops, then all other dimensions will feel strain and will diminish. Let me talk about these dimensions so you can use them at your workplace and decide which dimensions of energy is lacking in your life. Dimension number 1 is physical dimension. Physical dimension is responsible for your body, is how much you rest, how much you sleep, what you eat, and how much you move. This is the foundation of your energy. Because if you don't feel good, if you're sick, if you're in bed, if something is happening with your health, you physically are not able to do anything. You physically are going to be so weak, so you can't perform anything. Let's go to the next level, to the next dimension of energy. The next dimension of energy is mental. And mental dimension of energy is responsible for your mind. How alert is your mind? How strong are your decision making? How well are you present? Do you feel present? Do you focus on the important tasks in front of you? And then the next one is emotional dimension. An emotional dimension is responsible for your relationships and also for your state of emotions. How well are your relationships with others? Are you balanced? Are you positive? How well do you endure stress? This is all emotional. And the last one, and in my personal opinion, probably the most important dimension of energy is spiritual dimension. And spiritual dimension is responsible on motivation and meaning. Why are you doing what you're doing at work? What drives your motivation? What is your goal? What is your main purpose? Is it aligned with your main values? So let's talk a little bit more in detail about each dimension and why they're so important for your overall success, well-being, and growth at workplace. Physical dimension of energy is your body. Sleep, eat, move, and rest. These 4 categories are under physical energy. When you have strong physical energy, you have strong presence. You can do a lot of great things. You show up in your fullness. But when you are sick, when you don't feel well, your energy is low. So you notice that when sometimes we have pain in any part of our body, we're trying to cover this part. We're holding it with our hands as if we're trying to heal it, but also we're trying to protect it from others. So we're not in our resourceful state. We are scared that something may happen to us. We are in survival state. We are in a survival mode. So if your energy, your physical energy is in low state, you can feel fatigued. You will make mistakes. You will not show up as a strong individual who can participate at work, who can negotiate, who can fulfill and complete projects. But when your physical energy is high, you are very sharp, you're alert, you're fast, you're efficient. And it does affect your mood because all of this affects your hormones. And your hormones affect your brain. And your brain is responsible for how you feel, your mood, and your emotions. That's why this is a foundational physical energy, because it leads to your emotional energy. Emotional energy, right? So let me give you one example about an employee who usually is very patient with us, with others. He's always alert when it comes to fulfilling tasks on time, and he has so much clarity in his decisions. But in the last 3 weeks, his patience was very thin with people, and also his alertness was low. He started making mistakes. So the manager came up to this employee and he said, "What's going on? It's not something that you usually do." The employee responded, "Well, if you remember, 4 months ago, my wife gave birth to twins and it affected my sleep. Every time when they're both crying at night, I have to step in and help my wife. And I didn't talk about it with anyone. Unfortunately, it does negatively affect my mood, my patience, my spirit. I feel depressed sometimes because I don't rest at work, I don't rest at home, I just don't know what to do." That's why it is important to know some details of your employee's personal life so you understand why certain things may happen to them. And certainly, the most important is to have open, clear communication instead of jumping into assumptions. So in this case, you can see a very clear example as to how lack of rest, lack of sleep affected the emotional energy of this particular employee who just had recently baby twins. Emotional energy is responsible for two things: your emotional state and the quality of your emotions. What is your emotional state at work right now? Are you happy? Are you positive? Are you sad? Are you depressed? And the quality of your emotions. Your emotional state affects your relationship with people and it affects the dynamic of the team. If you come to work positive, it is going to boost morale of the team. It's going to go up and it is going to change the dynamics of your team. So you can see how all of these components are closely interconnected. But at the same time, if you're negative, you're going to snap at other people. You're going to bring your emotional negativity, your emotional garbage, so to speak, onto other people around you. We can only give what we have. If you want me to give you the smart cup, I'll give it to you. But if you ask me to give you a glass of water, I can't because I don't have it on me. So if you are full of positive energy, if you have optimism, if you are in a resourceful state, if you just have this great and positive outlook to life, of course you're going to share it with others. Of course you're going to spread it around you. So when I see people who are negative, I don't believe they're bad people. They're just people that something bad is happening in their life and they don't know how to get out of it. So they walk around with this deep, heavy problem on their shoulders and they're trying to solve it deep inside. And when somebody is interacting with them, all they can give is this negative energy. They snap and snap and snap and snap. That's why fixing our emotional energy is critical in order to improve our mental energy. The next energy we are going to talk about is mental energy. Mental energy is responsible for your concentration and how focused you can stay on your task for a longer time. Your mental energy is responsible for your decision making, how sharp you can stay, how fast you can be. And if you have mental fatigue, it is going to affect your quality. You will start procrastinating, you will start making a lot of mistakes, you will not be attentive. So, mental energy is responsible for focus, efficiency, and ability to prioritize. Mental energy is your mental agility, your mental fortitude. And if you have a task, for example, and it's very important, and you're super tired and you're going to do it at the end of the day, do you think the quality of your work is going to be 10 out of 10? Probably not. That's why a lot of successful people and people who are efficient in their work, they schedule their work, especially the most important and critical piece of their work, for the times where they call it prime time, where they feel more agile, more focused. And they know that these 3 hours of my day are the best for me to have mental work because I can focus better, I can stay concentrated for a longer time. If you have mental fatigue, sad face, it will lead you to number one, a lot of distractions because you cannot focus, right? Distractions will lead to mistakes. And mistakes will lead you to even more procrastination. Being mentally sharp is going to be absolutely important for you to be efficient, focused, and able to prioritize. And if you are focused, you will have more flow, sense of flow. That's the state where you can actually do something and you feel so focused and you feel in the moment and you're enjoying it as if you're connected to the higher force and you feel there's no limitation, there's creativity, you feel boundless. And that's when you get innovative because when you're boundless, you get download from so much different resources, so many different parallels, so many different concepts, innovations. Innovation is coming from the place of flow and focus and relaxation. And the last one, you get much higher efficiency. See how mental energy is important for us to get to high productivity, high efficiency. Mental energy is productivity. Spiritual energy is the source of motivation and meaning at work. Motivation. And we are talking about lasting motivation. And we are talking about deep meaning here. What drives your actions every day? And it affects how you show up at work, how engaged you are. Are you just going through motions? Are you just showing up there because you have to? Or are you going there because you have a deep sense of meaning? So, spiritual energy is responsible for your values. What are you valuing? It is responsible for your alignment. Are you aligned with this work? Do you feel that you want to do it every day? Do you feel that it matters personally to you? And the last one, it is responsible for your sense of purpose. What is your deepest purpose? See, this is your spiritual energy. That's why it is very critical to share with your employees, if you're a business owner, about your mission, about your uh, values. What is the mission of your organization? What are you planning and willing and wishing to contribute to this world? And people can see if it's aligned with them, and if they work in your organization and know that their values are deeply aligned with the values of your organization, they are going to be committed long term. They will be driven, they will be passionate, they will go extra mile. This is how spiritual energy works. And it is important to say that if your teams and your leaders and your employees are connected to your work through faith, through their values, through their mission, their life is going to be very deeply rooted at work, meaning that they would want to come to work. They would want to do extra, go extra mile. They will not use work as something I have to do, going through the motion. No, it will be a very meaningful part of their life, a very beautiful part of their life. They will not be surviving work, they will be serving through work. They will be doing it through their heart, from the heart. And success will be inevitable because when we do things from our heart, it usually reaches other people's hearts. And that's what people, consumers, clients, patients, they value the most. It's not what we do, it's how much love we put in what we do. And the last thing, why spiritual energy is so important, is because it keeps you grounded, and it also keeps you moving forward even when life gets tough, because it gives you that deep meaning when nothing else works. The spirit inside of you keeps whispering, you need to do it. It's important. It's valuable. You're born for it. You're meant to do it. And that quiet voice will keep you going, will have that little fire inside of you. And to conclude today's training, I just want to say that all of this 4 dimensions of energy are absolutely interconnected. And when you have high physical energy, you take care of your body, you take care of your food, you sleep well, you rest between work, you take breaks, you show up in a more powerful physical state. And when your body is taken care of, it affects your emotion. Your emotions are more intact. Your emotions are more controlled. You can regulate yourself. You are more patient. You don't snap around. You don't spill your negativity. You're positive and you spread positivity. And then when your emotional state is happy and doesn't take your mental energy, because when you have too many problems, too many conflicts, and you have illnesses, it will take your mental energy, and you won't have as much mental fortitude as you need to deal with daily assignments and important tasks. So when 2 of these energy dimensions, physical dimension and emotional dimensions, are taken care of, your mental dimension is also of a high quality. And then when the 3 dimensions are in sync, your spiritual dimension is flourishing, because now you remember why are you here, why are you waking up in the morning. You don't have to put small fires down around at life. You don't have to take care of small little things everywhere and disperse your energy. You are collected, you're centered, your physical dimension is good, your all your dimensions are in sync. Now you can take care of your spiritual energy. And of course, we may say that spiritual energy is at the very beginning, and it's also at the very end, because we are all of it. We are ever evolving mental, physical, emotional, spiritual beings. And with that, I wish you to find your center, to understand where your energy is leaking. Where do you need to do a little fixing? Where do you need to pay attention in your life? And do just that. And once you fix even one dimension or part of one dimension, you will start seeing results unfolding before your eyes. So take care of your energy. No one will do it for you. And when you get better, your life gets better. Stay empowered to empower others. Because when we're empowered, we show up as a wonderful, happy, and positive human beings. And the world need more of us like that. Thank you so much for watching. With you was Gulnara Omar. And if you have any comments, questions, please write your comments down below and share this video with your friends and family members who may benefit from it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.